Alright, I definitely cried during multiple parts of this finale. Don't judge me. I've already judged myself quite harshly. Normally, I like to talk about episodes in order of when things happened, but with this finale, I kind of just want to get my brain thoughts out there, and hopefully they're formed in some sort of cohesive way, but honestly, with me, I have no idea if it will be. I'll be doing an entire review on the entirety of the first season of Star Trek Picard, because I feel like it's a show that needs to be reviewed not only individually by episodes, but also all of it together as one. My own opinion. You may not agree. That's cool. Still gonna do it. So there was a lot to love about this finale. There was quite a bit to not love, a lot that just was very convenient and, you know, Deus Ex Machina. Use your imagination! What are you, a fucking Green Lantern? And honestly, some of it felt like they were pulling our heartstrings just to do it. So, okay, Picard supposedly dies from his neurological disorder. And we see everyone crying and everyone freaking out, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, he's dead. Of course, those of us that have followed interviews with Patrick Stewart know that he is already talking about season 2 and has asked certain legacy characters to come back. So we knew Picard wasn't actually going to be staying dead, but they were playing it that way. But they all knew that they were just gonna put Picard's brain download into the golem. So why were they... Normally when you're like, okay, this person could still be alive, maybe we're gonna pull through with this weird-ass experiment. You're really hopeful, and you hold back your tears and freaking out until it either fails or succeeds. It just seemed kind of cheap that everyone was sobbing and breaking down when they knew, oh, they were just going to put him in the golem. Also, and I realize that this has been a huge discussion in this season, and I understand it's also a very heavy-handed metaphor for other things in our world, but is it really Picard? So, yeah, they mapped out his brain and transferred it to a synth body, but it's a copy of Picard. It's not really Picard. It's not him. So, I don't know. I feel like it's different in the case of androids, where you can actually take out their brain and put it into something else, where humans, you don't know if that necessarily works that way. I mean, sure, if we decide that you can just completely copy someone's brain and that is that person, no matter how many different vessels you put it in, okay, I don't think it really works that way, and I'm not making an argument for, oh, you can't copy the soul or whatever, because I think that's stupid. If you believe that, I'm sorry, I'm not calling you stupid. I just find that stupid. I'm just saying, I feel like this isn't really Picard anymore. It's a synth that has copies of Picard's memory and brain, and that's about it. So, I don't know. I just feel like it would have been a lot more powerful if Picard would have died and stayed dead. Although, to me, the real Picard is dead. So, and this is not an argument about how if you have artificial body parts, it's not you. It's very different having a fucking artificial arm or bone structure put in because of disease or whatnot, or just because you wanted to, because you maintain your own consciousness in your brain. So I don't know, I really feel like it would have been better if Picard would have just stayed dead. That would have been the most fitting way for Picard to go out. And we saw Data sacrifice himself because he wanted to become human and give it so organics can live, and then we have Picard, who's a human, give his life so that synthetics can live. It would have been a very beautiful thing if they would have had the guts to just have Picard be dead. I think this would have been amazing if they would have just left him dead at the end and not did the bullshit with the golem, personally. I know other people probably don't agree, but that's what I think. This is my channel. I get to say all my crazy thoughts. But I mean, if we want to continue that thought process, even Data said it's not really him. Because, okay, they uploaded his memory and all that, although I do think that sort of thing would work differently with androids versus organic beings. So, I don't know, I feel like even Data's saying it's not really you, it's just a simulated you. Even though Picard's not in a simulation, it's a copy of his brain. Honestly, Picard and Data saying goodbye to each other and having that final moment, whether you believe that truly was Data being able to do it. Again, I go back to the argument of android brains are a bit different. I feel like you can transfer them to different vessels and they are still absolutely who they are. Where I think with organics, there's a little bit more to it. But also, okay, let's just throw this out there, right? This is the future. This is also in a world that is different than ours, even though it's goes off our own history. So who's to say they haven't figured out exactly how to put your brain, what makes you exactly you, and transfer it to a different vessel. Maybe that's possible. It's science fiction. I guess I just have to go with that. Because otherwise, that's not Picard. But Picard and Data being able to say goodbye to each other regardless of how you view that was so beautiful. Data wanting to die because his whole thing was, I want to be human, and being human is dying. And him turning old and Picard sitting there and being with him in his last moments was one of the most beautiful things I think Star Trek has done pretty much ever. To me, it was a very powerful, beautiful moment. But again, it was kind of destroyed by Data being like, hey, the thing about being organic, being more human or squishy is eventually you die, you expire. That's what makes life beautiful. But then Picard's like, nah, fuck it. I was supposed to die here, but now we're gonna put me in a golem. But don't worry, I was gonna die around the same time anyways, because they programmed basically a ticking time bomb in his golem body to be like, oh, this is when you were supposed to die when you had your other body, so you're fucking gone. And I know people are probably upset. There are some that wanted Data to come back and actually to be alive, and seeing him for sure now being gone is very sad, but I couldn't think of a more fitting way for him to go out, and I get afraid when people take these legacy characters and put them into a new modern show that they're gonna fuck it up somehow, and I feel like they ended Data's character in a fantastic way, and they didn't fuck it up. I think they fucked it up a little bit with Picard. He should have died in this finale. That being said, I am looking forward to season 2 with their little group of, Raffi, Rios, Agnes, Elnor, Seven, and Picard. That is going to be the cutest crew in the world. Still don't know what Rios sees in Agnes. I mean, she's adorable. Her fucking multiple faces. So cute. But she's also a murderer and killed her lover in cold blood. I understand there were some circumstances, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe Rios is into that sort of danger of, is she gonna one day just fucking kill me while I'm critically injured? I don't fucking know. Gets my dick hard. Ooh, speaking of Seven, so Raffi and Seven seemed to have a romantic thing going on. They were holding hands, and it was in a very intimate way. I know you could interpret it as, oh, two women sharing grief of losing children or what they suffered, but it really seemed intimate to me, and it's weird because we didn't really see Raffi and Seven interact much at all. So the fact that all of a sudden now they're in a romantic relationship seems a bit forced, and like it basically was done for more political reasons, which is fine. I mean, if you want to push that stuff in there and whatever. I just wish they would have then had a few scenes of Seven and Raffi together throughout this season for us to be like, ooh, they like each other a lot. It felt a little fan servicey to me. Ooh, still on Seven. Narissa's death seems so anticlimactic to me. I know she had to die because she was basically the mustache twisting evil stereotypical villain who, okay, you understood why she was doing what she did, but she took too much pleasure in it, so of course she had to die. Where you have Nerox, where he actually felt very emotional and sad for the things he had to do and was emotionally breaking down. Brotherfucker seemed to just really enjoy killing and hurting people and just being nasty. So I get that she had to die. It just felt weird. It just felt like it suddenly happened and it was just, okay, we gotta end this character. It's the finale. Fucking let's go. And oh, who should kill her? Oh, okay, Seven should do it for Hugh. It's just, all right. Maybe I'm bitter because I never got to see like an incest scene between Nerox and Nerissa. Although it was interesting that little bit of character backstory we got for Nerox where he was a Zhat Vash washout and a disgrace to the family, and I would love to learn more about their parents dying for this cause and all this. I'd actually like to see what's going to be going on with him. Obviously, he still has a thing for Soji, but Soji probably wants nothing to do with him. He wasn't on the ship, so I would be curious to see where he goes and what he does. Also, Commodore O and the Zhat Vash, are they going to let this go? Are they going to be like, okay, are the synthetics ever going to open up that beacon again? Maybe in the future, if they feel threatened, this might happen. Maybe you get a rogue synthetic life that might do it. I mean, we saw Sutra was a bit fucking evil. Which, by the way, was anyone disappointed that Dr. Sung wasn't an AI? He wasn't an android? He didn't turn out to be evil? He just legitimately... I mean, all of the songs are a bit out there. Like, what did Data say? Acquired taste. But, I don't know, I thought there was going to be more to it. And then the fact that he had a switch that just turned her off seemed a little morbid, where he's going, okay, I want androids to be, they're better than organics, and I want them to be free and everything. And then you have a device that can just shut them off, and that's how she ended? Like, oh, bloop, you're done. A lot of this episode felt like, and I love this episode. I loved it, okay? But a lot of it felt like, okay, we gotta wrap this shit up. So we're gonna have this machine where if you use your imagination, it can do anything. Oh my gosh, I have this switch where I just turn you off. Oh my goodness, there was this golem body and I'm gonna transfer. It's just, there was a lot of, we gotta wrap this up. Holy shit, what are we gonna do? Let's just pull this stuff out of our ass. Ooh, on the advanced synthetics that were waiting for the beacon, they look so badass. I was so excited seeing them. I was kind of wondering what they would look like. And to me, that definitely was a fucking terrifying techno Cthulhu type bullshit. And I got really excited seeing it. I was hoping that they were going to get all the way through. The fact that they didn't. But also the beacon summoned them. So why didn't they see the beacon and then be like, oh... alright, well, we need to get into their reality, their dimension, and fuck these bitches up because they obviously need us. They did the beacon, but maybe something happened and got in their way, those filthy organics. Of course, if this advanced synthetic life is just run on that signal and it just dispatches them with that, that kind of takes away from them as well, being an advanced synthetic life that still only works on programming and this signal. I don't know, it's just, there was a lot in this finale that was so rushed and just so, we gotta get this over with. And I'm a little disappointed, but they did so much fan service and got me so fucking emotional. And Picard with his epic speech and counting on someone to do the right thing and seeing Riker as a captain and in that uniform and he's all cleaned up was the coolest moment ever. As well in this episode, Riker leading the fleet to help Picard just was a fuck yeah moment. And it's almost like they knew they had to pull a bunch of this stuff out of their ass, so they wanted to do enough cool stuff in fan service to kind of have us not You don't see it. Just ignore it. Look at all this other really cool stuff. Ooh. Riker showing up was so fucking awesome. I actually paused it during there and I may have teared up a little bit. Please don't tell anyone. It's kind of embarrassing. I loved it so much. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this finale. I'm going to do a more cohesive review on the entire season because there's a lot to unpack and a lot to talk about. So I think overall, I love the finale and it touched my heartstrings. But it was a little bit too much rushing to the finish line. But hell, I'm excited for season 2, so here we go. Let me know what you thought about this finale, like, subscribe, and come back for more videos.